What's the sound?
27, yeah.
No, but what's the sound? There's like a hum. You hear the hum over there, Lori?
That'd be the sound of the.
The land acknowledgement. The land we gather on is the ancestral land of the Mi'kmaq, and we respect the Mi'kmaq as the indigenous people of Prince Edward Island. Welcome to our guests, staff, counselors. As for approval of the agenda,
So moved.
is there any disclosure of conflict of interest? No. We'll move into the approval of the previous minutes for October 23rd, 2024.
Just on page 6 on the Parks and Rec report, where it says bullet number 1, where it says wrestling was a big success. If we could just clarify and say that was Red Rock Wrestling. And for bullet point number 6, just to clarify the Hana Woods, we had 2 versions, the family version and a scary version. Thank you.
No? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thank you. Business arising? No. We don't have any presentations this evening. As for the Committee of Council report,
We have one resolution coming forward this evening from Councillor Campbell.
The resolution COC 43, moved by myself, Councillor Campbell, seconded by Councillor Burns. Whereas the Queen Elizabeth Hospital annual Friends for Life campaign is raising funds for a new operating table for the urology department. And whereas the QEH is a primary healthcare facility for the residents of the town of Cornwall, and the town has been and desires to continue to be, therefore be it resolved that the town of Cornwall donate $500 to the annual Queen Elizabeth Hospital Friends for Life campaign.
thank you, Councillor. All those in favor? Is there any, yes, Councillor Hurley? Oh, no. Okay, anybody else have any, nothing, this, okay. Councillor Hurley High, Environment and Sustainability.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. The minutes from our October meeting are in the package. If anyone had them at the last council meeting, so I can touch on a couple of the points from our meeting this past Monday, the 18th. So we are still working on the Dandelion Festival, the one-day festival. We're going to run that sometime, I think, in May. We're just working with Parks and Rec to confirm a date that doesn't conflict with something else that we might be doing. We have talked about the property and maintenance bylaw, which we will be working on with the planning department as a joint effort to update that bylaw. And the only one other thing I'd want to note is that we are not meeting in December. So our next meeting will be on January 13th.
Thank you, Councillor Hurley High. Anybody have any comments or questions? No? Okay, Municipal Services, Councillor Frizzle, please.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. The Municipal and Emergency Services Committee met on Wednesday, October 2nd at 4:30. Reports in the package. I'll highlight a couple of things. We had a presentation from T3 Transit's Mike Cass ridership numbers. They weren't great in September. They've since increased, which is great to see. We also talked about the different models for pay and having that. We also spoke about increasing routes in Cornwall, and the committee had asked Mr. Cassidy to look at some different route options. Going to be coming back with that information at a future meeting, most probably early in the new year. Yeah, great. So that was great. T3's been a great partner to the town. And looking forward to continuing that. But not the reports from our other partners are actions. Otherwise, where's my resolution?
Case emergency measures course tomorrow.
Yes.
I think we have 17 per, we got 3 from Cornerstone and 2 from APM.
Yes.
That
Great.
taking place here.
And that's the basic emergency measures.
Yeah.
EMO. Great. Yeah. And there's a resolution there. Councillor Hurley is moving. Second.
Great. Thank you, Councillor Frizzle. Resolution MES coordination, moved by myself, Councillor Hurley, seconded by Councillor Frizzle. Be it resolved that the Town of Cornwall Council directs town administration to engage with the province of Prince Edward Island staff to explore options regarding a potential province-wide transit governance framework.
Thank you, Councillor Carey. Thank you, Councillor Frizzle. Councillor Stevenson, Parks and Recreation.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Just a few things to report this evening since our last official meeting. Just a little recap. Our Halloween events were extremely popular. Our youth dance and our Haunted Woods, which, as I mentioned a while ago, had 2 versions, family friendly and scary version. Record turnout on a beautiful evening, and a big thanks to all our staff and volunteers and events committee who were organizing or showing up dressed up, and there was lots of community spirit. So it was wonderful. A couple of weeks ago, we held our veterans dinner up at Kingston. Huge success. I personally had many thanks from the veterans in attendance, especially from the Kingston. Thanks to the events committee who several were there helping out with whether it be tickets or at the door or pictures. Council that was there. And our staff, a special shout out who were working very hard, serving and always have a job doing coffee, because he wasn't missing a beat with refilling coffee. He says he gets that pressure from the seniors dinners, but the dishwasher was broken at the end, so they had a little extra duty. So big thanks to the staff, because there was a lot of dishes there. So, and the meal was delicious from Sam's Cornwall. And the nice touch, there was lots of nice feedback on the after school program, on the nice programs that they helped color and letters to the veterans. And so that was nice. And also so that was just a wonderful event. As you might have seen on our last Parks and Rec meeting, we mentioned that our holiday events highlights were kind of in motion. A lot of carryover from last year, and I just want to highlight a few so that you folks kind of have it. It's been shared on social media, but also I direct you there for the times or registration details. But December 6th will be our tree lighting here at Town Hall at the Civic Center. December 12th will be our seniors Christmas dinner. December 13th will be holiday trivia with Greg. December 14th will be our Christmas parade and Santa Mingle, holiday lights tour, and we have 3 different groups going out. That's growing in popularity every year, so that's always a wonderful event. And we have a movie night on the 20th at the Civic Center. So registration is required for a lot of the events. They can call town hall or other details with emailing and registration is on the website and social media channels. So looking forward to a great holiday season. You know, we see the rinks starting to get put up, which is always beautiful hallway. So we're about to hit the season hard, and members and the events committee work really hard as we head into the stretch. So I just wish everyone all the best, and please, if you can, come on out and partake in some of the events if you can. Yes, please. Yes.
Minutes from the November 19th.
And those were draft minutes that are in our package. I was reviewing the one that was on social media today, so I believe it's the 20th. Yeah. Good question and good eye. I didn't record any times, Sarah. I can resend that out to council, but I didn't record any of the times, but it was freshly posted on social media channels and the website within the last couple of days. And just another quick note is all the hours were up all around for October of last year, and spectatorship is up 19.5% over last year, which is wonderful. As many of you know, we're in the process of that until January's Parks and Recreation meeting. So the Parks and Recreation Committee will vote and choose a name that came in from our schools and the public and at our Corn Fest events. And then we'll send a name to Committee of Council for approval then for January. Our playground, the committee is reviewing the park inventory and discussions with staff and council and resident suggestions that have started with some recommendations coming at our January Parks and Recreation meeting. Parks and Recreation meeting in December as well. It'll be merged in the Committee of Council. Our next official meeting will be regular second Wednesday of the month in January. And lastly, Madam Mayor and Council, just you all hear that meeting after meeting. So I just want to give a special thanks as we head into the season here to Kim, Greg, and the staff, our events committee who are helping plan and execute, and of course our volunteers and other participants with our programming and events, and we're certainly looking forward to it. So that's all I have, Madam Mayor and Council.
Councilor Stevenson.
Parks and Rec meeting going to be the second Wednesday in January. Or were we, because the first we're moving all of those meetings back a week?
Five Wednesdays.
There is 5, yeah. Yeah, so I think week 1's meetings are going to be the 8th.
Yeah, so week 1 is not. Yeah, so we're starting in the
January 1st is the first Wednesday, Councillor Stevenson, so. January? So what about municipal services and planning?
Oh, sorry, Councillor. The 2 of you.
planning municipal service.
Yeah, there's 5. So January 1st is New Year's Day.
Yes,
We got 5. Wednesdays.
bump everything back a week.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, thought so.
Sorry, thanks for the clarification.
Because I kept mine on the 13th.
Okay, no, thanks for the clarification. And then we have one resolution tonight. Councillor Campbell, if you want to take care of that.
Sure. Yeah, I have a few here. So, motion, Parks and Rec, motion number PR 12/2024 Sweetheart Tournament donation. Moved by myself, Councillor Campbell, and seconded by Councillor Burns. Whereas the the North River Minor Hockey Association will host the 17th annual Sweetheart of Cornwall annually contributes towards the tournament, desires to do so. Again, therefore be it resolved that the town of Cornwall donate $500 to the 17th annual North River Minor Hockey Association Sweetheart Tournament.
Thank you, Council. Okay, Deputy Mayor McIsaac, Planning and Development.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. You've all received your package or your report in the package this evening. There's 4 resolutions coming forward tonight. The first 2 will be read by Councillor Campbell.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. Motion number PL 41/2024, special permit use apartment dwelling, lot 23-1 York Point Road, PID 613174. Moved by myself, Councillor Campbell, seconded by Deputy Mayor McIsaac. Whereas the town received a development permit application on June 3rd, 2024 for a 3-story 85-unit apartment dwelling at lot 23-1, being PID 613174, which is zoned general commercial C1 and was granted special permit approval by Council Resolution PL 17/2024. And whereas a revised development concept was received for 2 4-story apartment dwellings with up to 85 units total. And whereas apartment dwellings are a special permit use in the general commercial C1 zone pursuant to section 14.3.1 of the zoning and subdivision control development bylaw number 422. And whereas council has considered the town of Cornwall 2022 official plan and the zoning and subdivision control development bylaw number 422, therefore be it resolved that council grant approval of a special permit use to allow 2 4-story apartment dwellings with up to 85 units at lot 23-1 York Point Road, being PID 613174, subject to the town receiving plans that meet all requirements of zoning and subdivision control development bylaw number 422, and the developer entering into a development agreement with the town.
Thank you, Councillor Campbell. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carried.
And the next one, PL 42/2024 subdivision application, 2 lots reduced frontage, PID 624999 on Farm Lane. Moved by myself, Councillor Campbell, seconded by Councillor Frizzle. Whereas the town received an 624999 Farm Lane, as shown on drawing number 23047.108, prepared by Morris Geomatics and Engineering, dated September 10th, 2024. And whereas council approval is required for 5D of the zoning and subdivision control development bylaw number 422, and whereas council approval is required for reduced frontage lots pursuant to section 23.4 of the bylaw, and whereas council has considered the town of Cornwall 2022 official plan and zoning and subdivision control development bylaw number 422, therefore be it resolved that the council grant approval to subdivide 2 lots, each with reduced frontage of 21.2 meters from PID 624999 Farm Lane, subject to receiving the finalized subdivision plan for approval.
Thank you, Councillor Stevenson. Campbell, sorry. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Thank you. Oh, my Lord.
Thank you, Councillor Campbell. I'll be reading the remainder 2 resolutions for this evening for Planning Board. Motion number PL 43/2023, new street name, Martha Lane. Moved by myself, Bill McIsaac, and seconded by Councillor Campbell. Whereas the town received a request to name a new street, Martha Lane, which extends from the south side of Kingston Road. And whereas the town of Cornwall is responsible to assign street names and civic address pursuant to the Emergency 911 Act and the town of Cornwall street naming and numbering bylaw number 701. Therefore, be it resolved, the council approve the name.
Thank you, Counselor. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried.
Last resolution this evening from planning is PL 44-2024 102820 PEI Inc. Housing Accelerated Fund Proposal Scottsview Meadow Subdivision Phase 2. Whereas the town received a proposal for funding under the Housing Acceleration Fund from 102820 PEI Inc. related to the development of Scottsview Meadow Subdivision Phase 2, being a part of PID 1148626. And whereas Scottsview Meadows Subdivision Phase 2 was granted preliminary approval by Council Resolution PL 302024, which subdivision concept proposes 23 lots with apartment dwellings, multiple unit dwellings, and whereas council has considered the Housing Accelerator Fund requirements and funding parameters to support housing in the town, therefore be it resolved that council grant approval for a commitment of 400,000 of Housing Accelerator funding to the developer for the purpose of assisting with water, sewer, infrastructure installation, road construction to be disposed subject to the following: the developer entering into an appropriate funding agreement with the town, the developer entering into respective subdivision and development agreements with the town related to preliminary subdivision approval, 400,000 paid to the developer at such a time that the streets identified as planned as future Hathaway Drive extension and Street Street F and Street T are transferred to the province.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Thank you. Counselor Campbell now.
I don't have anything to report on this evening. Our meeting is following this meeting, so we'll have something next month.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Counselor Burns, utility.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. The Utility Committee met on November 4th. We reviewed our projects and received some more updates on how our new water tower is coming along. We discussed quite in depth around Cornwall Road extension of services, and I do have a resolution here to follow that. We did have a very short boil water order on Kingston Road. And I'd like to commend the utility staff for acting quickly, hand delivering notices, and then following up with each resident. And that spurred further conversations on how to best deal with these in the future and best way to reach residents. And so we'll be having further conversations regarding that. The resolution, if no one has any questions. Great. Motion number U07-2024 easement, moved by myself, Councillor Burns, seconded by Deputy Mayor Isaac. Whereas options to provide adequate water pressure and flows to future development are limited in the town due to the sizing of existing water mains in the utility network. And for this reason, easements across private property are sometimes necessary due to limitations on costs and best design practices. And whereas there is need for the utility to provide sufficient water flow and pressure for future development along the Cornwall Road 426031. Therefore, be it resolved that the town enter into an agreement and meters across property located at PID 426031 for the purposes of installing a new water main at a cost of $25,000 for the easement and incidental to the installation of the water main in the 2025 construction season.
Thank you, Councilor Burns. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Thank you.
And I just have one further comment. I just want to thank all the landowners, Steve, when we first started working with the extension services for our new well field, between well testing and working with the current landowners of where a new well field is located and now an easement. It wouldn't have gone along smoothly without their dedication to the town. So thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Barnes. Correspondence, let's see. Yes,
Oh, thank you, Madam Mayor. I just had one item tonight, or I guess two under the same umbrella. I just wanted to give an acknowledgement to Bluefield High School for two different happenings there as of late at our local high school. As of late, they've had some excitement in the sports world. The AA and AAA women's volleyball team both captured gold, which was pretty exciting for the school. There was a lot of happy folks there. So lots of hard work there. So congratulations, girls. And secondly, and lastly, tonight, Madam Mayor, I just wanted to congratulate the music program, the Bluefield music program and their craft fair that they recently had. That has become it's a very organized and well-run event, and it's growing in the, when I talk to some, maybe, I'm not sure what the right word is, craft fair enthusiasts on PEI, Bluefield has been moving up the ranks to be in that top tier of like Colonel Gray and Three Oaks craft fair. So kudos to them, because I remember about
okay, Councillor Frizzle, go ahead.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Stepped up their season on November 10th, and so they had a great season for all the support on behalf of that club, and we had in the U14 division, the U16 and the U18. Unfortunately, all three came up short to the Charlottetown Privateers, unfortunately. So, but they all played great. You know, excellent season as far as you know, teaching the kids leadership and football and having a good time and stuff. So, and I know everybody thoroughly enjoyed that. Brand. His first name's Cohen, that player. And Bluefield news, Bluefield recently in their athletic program, they recently completed all of the tryouts for all of their basketball teams. So they have teams in the A, AA, and AAA divisions. And I know the AAA team will be having their first game this coming Friday in the Grey Cup at Colonel Gray, 1:30. And congrats again to that Cohen player for making that AAA team as a 10-year-old. So, yeah.
Thank you, Councillor Frizzle.
Grade 10.
Were you in Summerside last weekend at basketball? Was that Summerside? Yes, I saw that. I saw, yeah, anyway. I just like to Yeah, I make a note just regarding the meetings that are coming up in December, because we're not having all of our regular meetings. So December 4th is our planning board committee meeting. December the 11th is committee of council, and December 18th is our council meeting. So just, I know it's posted on the door, but just a reminder for all and speaking to the public, because all of our meetings are open, so to make sure they know. Oh, then they're all at 4:30. Thanks, Councilor Crystal. Yeah. I guess I'm just, I think everybody knows that. Yeah, all the meetings are at 4:30. So does anybody have anything else they wish to
I
say?
just have one comment. Actually, this is directed at Parks and Recreation. I just wanted to extend my thanks to staff for the work with the after-school program and the work that they did for the Veterans Dinner and also the education that they put forward to the kids during that week. Just, they turned it into a learning activity for the children, which is fabulous, and we need more of that.
I just have one thing to say. I can't imagine the after-school program staff after raining for 2 weeks. Anyway, thanks for all they do. Okay, we'll say, oh, sorry.
I have one thing I forgot to mention as far as, well, this could have been mentioned in MES. But we received an update from Epic Electric Scooters on their usage. So maybe I'll send that around to council so everybody can take a look at that report and maybe I'll mention it next council meeting because yeah, I'll put on yes, I will. I'll do that. But things look good. So
Okay, good.
yeah,
Okay,
kudos
thanks.
to them. Yeah,
Thanks,
thank
Councilor
you.
Frizzle. Okay, we are adjourned. Thank you. Thank everybody. Thanks, Lori.
Oh, I got that on tape. Look at that.
Guys with Holland College's journalism program?
Yep, yes. What's that?
That's a last.
Like the program going well?
Yeah, it's great. We're all in second year, so we graduate in June.
Who's the instructor?
Our main instructor is Lindsay Carroll. We also have Sally Pitt.
Yes. Oh, wow. That's
Yeah,
exactly.
which is great. And then we just got GradWorks.
That guy's
Got,